India and Northeast, and Guwahati office, the jurisdiction is all the northeastern states except Sikkim and Tripura. Sikkim and Tripura are under the jurisdiction of Kolkata. I'll be briefing you about the foreign trade policy and the role of DGFT in promotion of exports. So DGFT is the attached office of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Earlier it was named as Chief Controller of Imports and Exports prior to 1991. As the name suggests, it was the control of imports and exports. There was a license last time. Licenses were issued to exporters and importers. But after 1991, the privatization, globalization, digitalization, the name also changed and the role also gradually changed from control, regulation to promotion and trade facilitation. So officials of DGFT, they work in close coordination with other agencies like Customs, Central Excise Authority, Central Excise is over there, GST, DRI and other bodies. First of all, Ministry of Commerce and Industry is the parent ministry related to promotion of exports in India, from India, and DGFT being the nodal body is the to go point. There are various agencies, specialized agencies all over India related to different fields of export promotion. But DGFT is the parent body. We formulate the foreign trade policy, we regulate, we implement the foreign trade policy in the field, and various other activities are being done by DGFT. Okay. Foreign trade policy, is a very technical, very technical document. So I won't be going into the nitty-gritties of the document, but it's the document contains of chapters. Foreign trade policy contains various chapters, and there is a handbook of procedures, how the policy is implemented. I'll give you a brief gist what the policy contains. Okay. So what is a foreign trade policy? It is a set of guidelines and instructions established by DGFT in matters related to import and export of goods and services in India. And the present policy is 2015-20, still continuing and has been extended recently for 6 months now. So it's now in the 2015 to 22. So these are objectives of foreign trade policy. To provide a framework for increasing exports of goods and services as well as generation of employment and increasing value addition in the country in line with the Make in India program. The policy aims to enable to respond to challenges of the external environment, keeping in step with rapidly evolving international trading architecture and make trade a major contributor to countries' economic growth and development. And it has introduced 2 schemes, MEIS and SEIS. The period of those schemes is over and we are looking forward to have a new structure. Then there are various measures which have been taken to boost exports of defense and high-tech items from India. E-commerce policy is also in the making and will specifically notify it very soon. And there are 108 MSME clusters which have been identified for focus on exports. So this is the basic foreign trade policy. It is divided into various chapters. So since export is very technical, I'll just tell you what is the smallest takeaway which you can have from today's session. So I'll just advise you, whosoever is little interested in foreign trade policy or knowing the basics of this, you can just go through the chapter 1 and chapter 2. That's it. Chapter 1 is the legal framework and trade facilitation. See under what provisions, policies formulated, who formulates, how is it formulated, what is the legal framework. And chapter 2 is the general provisions regarding imports and exports. These are important chapters. Then there are specific chapters. Chapter 3 is export of India schemes. Then there is a duty revision scheme. Then there is EPCG scheme. I'll be giving a little introduction about these schemes in my later slides. Then there is a chapter 6 on EOUs and STPs, deemed exports. Chapter 8 is on quality complaints and trade disputes. We had a discussion on quality issues. There is a specific chapter in the foreign trade policy that looks after the complaints and trade issues which can be raised by foreign buyers. And there are chapter 9 contains the basic definitions. Okay. So DGFT has undergone a transition from a body who was a regulator in 90s. Now our focus is shifting towards trade promotion and trade facilitation. This is the role of DGFT. Since we are the government itself, we formulate and implement various trade policy. Various trade promotion schemes are formulated by Ministry of Commerce and DGFT. Then research and analysis of policy is being done by our headquarters. Then, there is a mandate to regulate, restrict or prohibit exports and imports. To play an advisory role to the government on policy measures pertaining to national and international economic scenarios. Establish and control the standard norms for import. I believe what this point means. To allocate the IC number to importers and exporters, and to assist states to develop their infrastructure for exports. Identify towns of export excellence and development of SEZs, EOUs, biotech parks for the purpose of importing capital goods and services. Anyone want to ask anything?
See about, please go back to the previous slide.
Previous?
Oh yeah, this is fine. That's regulate and restriction of production. Let's talk more about.
Regulation?
Yeah.
Restriction?
And more specifically to India and Myanmar.
Before 1991, most of the tariff lines was under control. There was for every item you need import or export, you need to take a license from DGFT. After this liberalization, most of the tariff lines were made free. Free means, what does free mean? Free means that there is no conditionality imposed on that particular product. You can import or export free. Certain items fall under the restricted category. Restricted means that you can export or import, but there are certain provisions to be followed. There are certain conditionalities. So any item which is under restriction category, restricted category, you will have a specific condition that you can import, but you have to follow the instructions. Okay. For example, anything that impacts environment. So you need to have a certificate from pollution control board. Likewise, these are certain restrictions. Then there are prohibited items. Prohibited items you cannot export. They are strictly prohibited. So how a particular product is chosen to how to categorize a particular product to fall into restricted or prohibited, that DGFT does from point to point, from time to time. For example, like recently we have banned export of rice. That rice was made from free to restricted item. So anybody who need to export rice should have a registration certificate from DGFT. So such kind of conditionalities are imposed. Now the question rises, why these conditions, why something becomes restricted from free or prohibited from free or this is something I think you can also answer. Let us have a reply on this. Why rice was made free to restricted? Why something would become restricted? Anybody?
There will be a shortfall in the national demand. So if you export it, then there would be less rice in the country.
Correct. So there are various reasons which are taken into account while something is categorized as restricted. So this is what DGFT does from time to time. If you read newspapers, you will very frequently you will see that export of X product has been banned, is now converted into restricted category. This is how regulation is being done by DGFT. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's somehow, that's clear, but I just want to know more specific to India and Myanmar.
No, very good question. I don't want to go, see if I want to restrict myself to the PPT because I can give you a lecture extempore also. You cannot choose country specific regulations. That is banned under WTO. India cannot say that so and so product is restricted for export to Myanmar. Myanmar, as a member of WTO, will next day take us to WTO dispute settlement. So I cannot answer you specific. There is nothing specific to Myanmar. If a policy decision has been taken by government to restrict a particular item, it is for every country. So nothing from Myanmar. If you see how to see whether a particular product is restricted or not, you go to the website of DGFT, you open import policy, export policy, go to export, you open the export policy document, export policy. When you open it, you will just search your product. When you will see your search your product, you will see category free, restricted or prohibited. They will not say restricted to Myanmar or restricted to Bangladesh. You cannot distinguish as far as WTO laws are concerned. Am I true?
Yeah.
So my friend, we means my friend and I, we are concerned about the border trade only. So what we are asking you about restriction is the border trade limitation and restriction.
See, that border trade restriction and notification of certain products, they are done specifically by Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay? So that list of products is notified by MHA. That is a different topic.
Yeah, that's the point. There is some limitation.
What products, selected products you can export or import from that particular border, that is being notified by MHA. How it is done, I just tell you. Ministry of Home Affairs has inputs on certain products. So they share that list with us in Ministry of Commerce. And we notify, either sometimes DGFT notifies or MHA also notifies that for this particular border trade, these are the notified products. If any further concern regarding this is how things go. But I know in your mind what is going on is that some addition of certain product in that list. Am I right? You want certain product to be added into that. This is a very technical thing. If you want to get some product to be added in that list, that has to be taken up with the Ministry of Home Affairs because they have their own concerns. Okay? Law and order issues are there and other things are there. Fine?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. So when we talk about export-oriented units development, does it like the state government also plays a role in it, or it's like what I know now is that there is this district export hub that's been, getting promoted, or but like how would it be useful to us, as in like if we want to be
Export oriented, you want to know EOU?
maybe oriented units.
I would not like to say much on the EOU and SEZ because this But this whole SEZ and EOU concept is under change. We have a new bill. Earlier it was the SEZ Act 2005. And if you search on net, there is a new proposed bill called DESH, DESH. You can search it. So the entire policy regarding SEZ and EOU is under remake, and very soon it will be notified. Okay, so we are waiting what new developments are there, and then we will be able to discuss much about that. But it is very different from what you are saying as district as export. EOU is what EOU is. EOU is a demarcated area or firm which is specifically for export purposes. So it is being notified by government that it is an export-oriented unit. No taxes are levied on it. Certain benefits are extended to an EOU. I don't want to go into details because if I tell you details, maybe by next month there will be a new policy. So waiting for the modalities of those.
But what I want to know is
District as export hub, if you want to know, I will cover it.
Okay.
I have that. Anything else? But it is quite different. DEH is very different from EOU. EOU is a demarcated entity. District as export hub is that you want to develop district as engines of export. Okay.
I have one question. What are the assistance provided by your directorate to the government of Manipur for promotion of this export?
Good. There are various schemes of Government of India. One scheme is a side scheme. I don't know whether you are aware of that scheme. ASID, Assistant to States for Infrastructure and for Development of Infrastructure and Trade in Exports. So funds are given to the state government for development of infrastructure, export infrastructure in a particular state. So those are directly given to the state government and it is being monitored by central government. Okay. And there are other export promotion schemes also. Are you asking what assistance is given to the state government or to the exporter?
What assistance we can get?
So this is the funds are being allocated. Plus there is a new scheme I talked about that. A new scheme. So, see, there are various stakeholders in promotion of exports. There are various export promotion councils, boards, but there is a now churning going on in the Ministry of Commerce. They have what they are saying is that DGFT should drive the export promotion activities at an entire country. So a new concept is being initiated. A trade promotion wing has been constituted in 6 offices of DGFT all over India on a pilot basis. So the 4 pillars of that trade promotion wing would be state initiatives. So one particular vertical is that we would be assisting states. We would be advising them to make some initiatives with respect to the exports. We will be taking their feedbacks what issues they are facing, and then that will be forwarded to our headquarters and it will be taken up with various line ministries. For example, if some cold storage is required in a particular area, so the state government can write to us, we will take up with the ministry and all the stakeholders will be brought together and that activity will be given a push. That is the mandate. Second is exporter advisory and industrial relation. Third is export training. So we would be having a well-established planner for training of exports by DGFT itself. And last is participating in trade event and making you people participate in various trade events that are organized in the country. So in 2019, on the Independence Day, our Honorable Prime Minister had given this vision of making every district as export hub. So this scheme was launched at that time. So what is this scheme? Every district of this country is to be made an export hub. So what is the mechanism? See, Earlier, what was being done is state governments they had their own export policies. Like Odisha has its own export promotion policy, Gujarat has its own export promotion policy, India has its own export promotion policy. So everyone was doing their own job, but it was realized that there is no institutional mechanism of district, state, and central government coming together. So under this initiative, what has been done is a state level export promotion committee has been constituted, which is chaired by the chief secretary, and it is co-chaired by DGFT. So a senior officer of the rank of joint secretary in DGFT co-chairs that committee. One committee at the state level. There are district export promotion committees in the district. The DEPC is chaired by the DC, DM, and it is either co-chaired by DGFT officer, or the DGFT is the member secretary, or DGFT is a member of the committee. So an institutional mechanism is already in place. Okay. So what is the theme behind this? The theme is that every district should be made an engine of export growth. So this is a nodal point. Like we were saying that there has to be one point to go in a district. So this is envisaged as a to go point. So we are expecting that in every district in the DC office they have a small window for export purpose under the DEPC. And in this committee we have members, invited members from different agencies. Like for example, in Imphal East district, what we have done is DGFT has the data, historical data, what is being exported from Imphal East or Manipur. So that data was mined, it was shared by us with the district administration, and we asked them what is your view on choosing these products. So district administration they do their diligence and they suggest us. So for Imphal East, pineapple, black rice and handloom and handicraft items were identified as products to be focus upon for exporting. So once the product is identified, it has to be identified in consultation with the various stakeholders. Like for example, the State Department of Horticulture, Agriculture, we took their inputs. What is the capacity? What was the production of pineapple and all? Is it a feasible product? It's very important, when we started this exercise, every district in East India, Northeast India wanted to have rice. Rice type product. So we wanted to tell them, if it is black rice, if it is a GI product, then it's fine. But you cannot dream of exporting rice from every district. Because why would someone take your rice, normal rice, from say Manipur? उसको कम पैसे में तो वहाँ से मिल जाएगा बंगाल से. So that thing, now this kind of discussion and analysis is going on. State governments were totally unaware of export things. So now they are interacting with us and they are realizing, okay, these are the types. So we have identified these products, 3 products, and then we have made a district export action plan, DEA. So you as if you are a resident of Imphal East or Imphal, so you have the right to see what that plan is. You can ask for a copy of that plan. You can see what the plan is all about. So, and the plan is adopted by the committee. It has been shared with our headquarters. It has been uploaded on the portal of the DEA. So, the plan says what all activities, what all initiatives will be done by all the stakeholders. So, what we have done, it is a new initiative. What we have done is, we have formulated the plans and we had stakeholder consultations in July. We discussed with the exporters already, existing exporters and various stakeholders, what issues they are facing. Like you have discussed that some issues you are facing. All those issues were tabulated and they were sent to our headquarters to Delhi, and they have assured us that they will be taking these issues with the line ministries concerned. See, everything DGFT cannot do. In one of the meetings, there was an exporter. So he said, हमको ना CFT चाहिए यहाँ पे. So the DC stopped and she looked towards me. She said, "Sir," I laughed. I said, "Madam, for that land has to be given by you." So it's a comprehensive thing, collaborative. If you need a particular infrastructure in a particular district, the district administration has to give land, electricity, water. Central government can give funds to make the physical infrastructure. Say you need some machinery, we can give some fund for that. So state government has to chip in, they need to give some funds. District administration has to give land. Likewise, so this is how now under this district export fund scheme, the roles are now clear. Who has to do what? There is no confusion. Okay. So this is the vision. The aim is to manifest the vision of Honorable Prime Minister of India to convert each district of the country into an export hub, to facilitate India's export growth by providing technical and financial assistance at district level, which shall in turn create employment and income opportunities for people, to enable MSMEs, farmers and small industries to get benefit of export opportunities in the overseas market for self-sufficiency and self-reliance, to provide ecosystem for innovation, use of technology at district level to make them competitive with domestic as well as international market, to identify, understand, tackle challenges surrounding the exports of each of the identified products, services at all times, and to improve the market accessibility of the children. So it is a new initiative. The intention is good. So we are just the starters of this scheme. So let's see how it goes. So this is a Niryat Bandhu scheme which is very relevant and pertinent today. It is a 10-year-old scheme of DGFT. Under this scheme, we have funds. We conduct various sessions, sensitization workshops. This scheme has 3 components. First component is training of the new IC holders. If you are a new IC holder, you just take an IC from DGFT. We give a brief introduction about export procedures to the IC holders. Second component is having these awareness programs in clusters, towns of export excellence. Wherever we have these export clusters, towns of export excellence, we go there, we organize various training workshops, programs in collaboration with other stakeholders like FIEO, APCH, state government, district, like this. And the third component is MBA institutes, MBA colleges or universities where we have course for foreign trade, international business or economics. We have a component that we, final year students, we sensitize them also. The prospective entrepreneurs, we have a component for them. Anything you want to ask? Ours is a very technical role. So सबसे export promotion scheme को कीजिए. So what is the export promotion scheme? Anybody who is aware of what scheme does DGFT run? Okay. So there is one scheme which is very popular, that is called the Advanced Authorization Scheme. It is also a technical scheme. Why it is technical? Because there are some conditions involved. But once you go through the chapter 4, you will understand what the scheme is all about. I'll just give you a brief idea. Suppose you are into a manufacturing business. I'll take example of say a pen. You want to export pen. Okay. So if you want to import the raw material for that pen, you can import that raw material duty free. The scheme is governed by standard input output norms. What does that standard input output norm mean? quantity of pen, 1 unit of pen, you need a particular amount of plastic or whatever product, ink. Okay. So what DGFT has done is, it has collected data from the industry, done its calculation, and it has come up with SIO and SION, standard input output norms. What does that mean? It means that to make one quantity of that product, 1 unit of that product, what is the raw material? Say you need this itna percentage or itna grams of plastic, itna grams of ink, okay? Plus allowance, wastage allowance and so on. So what you can do is, suppose you want to manufacture that product, you will come to DGFT, you will apply for advance authorization. That advance authorization will be issued to you under particular sign. Sign, there is a sign in this book. You can see what sign is there for your product, chosen product. You can import that raw material duty free. What does that mean? That if you want to import it, you need not pay any duty, you just need to pay the price of that product, the raw material. But there is a condition that you have to do value addition in that. 15% is the value addition, which is the minimum value addition which is required, and then you have to export it within a particular period of time, say 18 months. And then you have to come back to us with documents of export and your realization of export proceeds, and then your licensing goes. So this is the basic of that. Anything to ask on that in this? This is also one of the most popular schemes. This is called the EPCG scheme. It is also, yeah.
Is that scheme valid for only raw material? How about the infrastructure like my machine?
This is the EPCG scheme is for your infrastructure. Suppose you want to export a particular product and you want to import a particular machine on which that export product can be manufactured. So that machine you can import duty free. Duty free. Are you aware of the custom duty thing? How many of you are aware of duties?
Few.
See, if you are importing anything, say anything, any product. Can you name some product?
Furniture item made of
If you
wood.
want to import a furniture item, say chair, or wooden chair from abroad. Two elements are there. One is the cost, you have to pay the cost to the supplier, and second is the duty, the import duty notified by Government of India on that particular product, which has to be paid to the Government of India to customs. So how this scheme is an export promotion scheme is that if you want to import a particular machinery for upgradation of your manufacturing process, you can import it. You need only pay the basic price of that machine. You need not pay the duty. That duty is foregone. Okay. But you have to. It is an actual user scheme. You cannot purchase it and sell it. You have to install it in your premise, and then you have to manufacture that item on that particular machine. So when we give you that authorization, when you apply for EPCG authorization to DGFT, so one of the documents which is required is the Chartered Engineer Certificate. The engineer certifies that this product, this particular machinery which is being imported, and this product for which the license is being taken can be shall be manufactured on this machine. So there has to be a nexus certificate to be provided by the applicant. So you have to import the machine, you manufacture that product on that machine, and then you export the product. And the condition is that you have to export within 6 years, and you have to export 6 times the value of the duty saved. Suppose 10% is the duty. Your the import amount is 100 rupees, and 10% is the import duty. So you have to export to the tune of 60 rupees, 6 times of the duty saved in 6 years. So it is not important today to learn the nitty-gritties of the scheme. If you want, we can tell you a number of times about this scheme. The whole purpose is to just understand how this scheme is formulated for export promotion. One, they are helping you, government is helping you to import a particular machine for technological accreditation. So they are foregoing duty for 6 years. Okay, but they are linking it with export of to the tune of 6 times of it. And 6 times of foreign exchange comes in 6.
So you said that the time period is 6 years of importing machine. Suppose
No,
exporting.
the time period is for importing the machine is 18 months.
Suppose I want to develop my product and I am imported from China the machine, but my product needs some iron. So do I have kind of extra year or since doing that process?
No, specifically to R&D, there is no extension of the export obligation period, but export obligation can be extended for clockwise extension can be given. There is a provision in the policy to give extension. And plus, since DGFT has transitioned its role to trade promotion and certification, there is an EPCG committee in headquarters. Any genuine hardship any exporter is facing, he is not able to export. The hardship should be genuine. So the case can be taken up by the committee in headquarters and they can discuss, they can place on record whatever hardship they face. They could not export for say 2 years. See, Corona was a genuine hardship. So all the export obligation period was pushed by 2 years. Like this. It can be extended, there are provisions. There are relaxations.
So these two schemes, they are basically for people who are already into exports.
No, a newcomer can also.
So let's
See.
say for this scheme, it says import of machineries. So if but if I don't need a machine that needs to be imported, but if I can buy it from the local or the Indian market, can this
Scheme be taken?
Yeah.
Yes, it can be taken. That is a good point. See, this scheme was devised at a time when technological upgradation was the need of the hour. If you people would have given a thought that on one side you are focusing on Make in India, import substitution. On the other side, you are running this scheme where people can import machines to be. So there is a facility of invalidation. You take this license, you get it invalidated. What does that invalidation mean? This you get it invalidated for purpose of import. You come to us, you ask for invalidation, we will issue an invalidation letter. Everything will remain same, but that importing thing that will not be there. You can source it from domestic market, the machine. But the conditionality is that export obligation, that period of export obligation will remain.
6 years.
6. It is for agriculture product it is 12 years, for certain product it is 8 years.
And for this, if I have to approach, I come to DGFT directly, or how do I?
Yes, you apply online. All the schemes of DGFT are online. You can browse dgft.gov.in. You can see there is a login provision. You can register yourself and you can apply for all the schemes which DGFT runs. This slide is very in a technical session. You tend to lose focus in between. Something interests you, something doesn't. But this slide, if this is the minimum takeaway today, I think our job would be done. Most of the people, they don't know what different role organizations play. So broadly, there is DGFT, there is customs, there is RTI, then there are port authorities, then there is land customs, then there are banks. Anybody who has idea of what role is being played by all of these are. Broadly, I'll tell you. See, DGFT, the role is trade regulation, trade promotion, and trade is why, AEPC, the April Export Promotion Council, they run training programs. So maybe, he was too young and they didn't find him, serious enough. So they said, that, okay, you come tomorrow. So what he came to me, what I did was I just picked up my phone, I called the concern and his admission was done. So DGFT is a parent body. All the bodies under Department of Commerce and Industry are related to us. Any trade related issue which you are facing, even if it is not directly related to us, we can take it up, we can facilitate the resolution of that issue. Because this is our mandate. Then this is the prime role of DGFT as a policy formulator, policy implementer, trade facilitator, whatever you want to call it. Then there are export promotion councils like FIEO, Export Promotion Council for Handicraft, like April Export Promotion Council. There are so many sector-specific councils. So people get confused that this council is doing the trade promotion, DGFT is also doing the trade promotion. Who is doing what? These councils are basically constituted by the under the Act of the Parliament, but they are not the government agencies as such. Basically, they are run by the members themselves, and they are sector-specific pressure groups. Suppose you are a businessman into handicraft sector, okay? So you will be registering yourself with Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts. You will be taking an RCMC from EPCH. Whatever issues the industries face, maybe they are region specific or product specific or country specific. Suppose some country has certain issues with certain products. So EPCH, that council is the pressure group that advises to DGFT and to the ministry. Like FIEO, if you are a multi-member businessman, if you are into more than one product, which is across different sectors, so you take membership of FIEO, and any issue, because your voice is single voice, right? Any issue which you are facing, you can route it through FIEO, you can route it through your respective council. That is the role of an export promotion council. So you must be very clear about that. Then there is certification. Certification, various kind of certifications are there. For that also dedicated agencies are there. There is an export inspection agency. There are EPCs also the certification agencies. Different type of certification for different type of products. Then customs is there for your clearance, product clearance. Custom procedures are very important. Washington was talking about CHA, Custom House Agents. Custom House Agents are not normal agents. They are selected by the Custom Department. They have a bond with the Custom Department. They deposit some amount of money, and on behalf of the exporter or importer, they do the documentation part. So Customs and GST, they are only concerned with the duty collection part. Then there are banks and insurance, there are commercial banks. So one thing which should be very clear to you is, for any trade promotion thing, you should think about DGFT. For any duty payment related thing, suppose you are importing something and any duty payment issue is there, you should think about customs. And for any payment related thing, the regulator is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. As DGFT formulates and issues foreign trade policy, RBI has issued master circulars. Please note it down. There are two master circulars for exports and imports issued by Reserve Bank of India. You can browse on their website, their portal. The master circulars are available. So, what are the regulations? They are available there. What are the FEMA guidelines or FEMA compliances for exporter or importer? You can see. So if you think, you can definitely write to DGFT for any of your bank related issues. maybe your some remittance stuff or whatever. But we will route it to army because they are the regulator. If you have some issues with customs, you can write to us, but we won't be your point of relief. We will refer it to customs. So this role delineation should be very clear. Okay? These are the three major stakeholders. The rest are the satellites that revolve around these three. Then there is ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. They basically they give a cover, insurance cover to the exporter. Anything? Okay. I must tell you that recently lot of developments are going on in the government of India. So lot of churning is going on. New things are coming up in the Department of Commerce. What the government has realized is that there are too many stakeholders. So people get confused. किसके पास जाएं? I have an example when somebody had it for a very small issue. They were chasing, I don't want to name the council, कि हमारा issue take up करो, please. So when they met me, I told them that you can directly write to us. You need not go through your export promotion council. You can write an email to us. So a lot of confusion was there. So lately, what the government has decided is they have. I belong to Indian Trade Service. So what they have done is they have made teams of Indian Trade Service officers, and these teams will be specializing in different sectors. So they will be the nodal. They will be having all the repository of information for export of that. They will be advising the government. They will be taking feedback from the stakeholders. They will be interacting with all the agencies. So to consolidate the information in time consent. So this is what DGFT has very recently. This is the August development. I'll just read it for you. So a need was identified to have specialized team of ITS officers who would focus upon identified product sectors and geographical regions for trade promotion. These teams are expected to develop deep knowledge in the assigned sectors and regions and evolve as institutional experts over a period of time. Based on the directions of DGFT, this was an internal mail was given to officers asking their preferences. So 10 sector-wise teams have been formed, keeping in mind the preferences. And the joint additional DGFT means the joint secretary level officer has been assigned as a mentor to these teams. These are the, this covers almost everything. Each team may convene virtually or physically at regular intervals to discuss the developments in the sector, market news, trade data, issues, concerns, strategies for market access, etc. The groups may endeavor to develop as nodal points for respective EPCs. So there was a confusion. There were so many EPCs. So you have made one group of 5-6 officers as a nodal point of all these EPCs. Sectors. Panel data pertaining to these sectors would be made available to the groups at regular intervals from DGCIS. DGCIS is the agency that is Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics. So all the data is captured in the customs EDI system. The custom is now all the custom ports are EDI connected. They're all electronic. Are you aware what EDI is? Electronic data interchange. All the ports are connected, barring few in the northeastern region or eastern region. Few ports are not EDI enabled. So whatever you are exporting, what is the quantity, whatever you are declaring through CHA, whatever is being imported, all the data, ITCHS code-wise, is captured by customs, transferred, collected by DGCIS. They are doing their data analysis. Country of export, country of import, product, how much quantity, everything that will be shared by this group of officers. So the group would be empowered to develop direct relations with key exporters and manufacturers who may potentially develop as exporters in the future. These are the sectors. Now you see what sector is of your interest. Handicraft, handloom, sports, tourism, agriculture, and mines. Though I have incorporated the national logistic policy, it is not a policy of commerce. Okay, national logistic policy. I want you to read it on your own. Okay. So these are export promotion concepts. T-board is there, beta is there, EPCH, AEPC, Excel, copy board. For different sectors, we have different export promotion concepts and rules.
What is Amia?
Before I conclude, one thing I thought is very important to tell you. Just interaction with you. How many of you are really exporting? Are you aware what ITCHS is? That is the most important thing which you should know. Anyone who is is into domestic business. So if you are, how do you see domestic business is easy in the sense. Let us take an example. Suppose your black rice. What is the local name of black rice?
Sak how? Sak how?
Chakao. Suppose you are a businessman trading in this product, and you want to export it. Maybe you want to see one fine day you realize that there is a lot of potential in Russia, lot of demand of that particular product. Okay. So let us take an example that you ask for your Russian buyer to have a VC. And on VC you are trying to explain him what that product is. तो आप क्या बोलोगे? बताओ, उसको तो समझ ही नहीं आएगा। वो बार-बार what meaning? Because Russia is not, they are not very English speaking. If you they are Russians, वो Russia बोलते, Russian बोलते, तो आप क्या करोगे? How will you explain? Will you show your product? So there is a concept called ITCHS, Indian Trade Classification or International Trade Classification. HS, harmonized rules. So all countries have come together and they have codified every possible product in numbers. Okay. So if there is a demand from Russia, you need not tell him that it is black rice. You just give him the ITCHS code. वो अपनी कंट्री में अपनी पॉलिसी में खोल के देख लेगा. अच्छा ये black rice. Is it fine? It's like the language of even in domestic trade also. Domestic trade maybe there is a tariff categorization. There are chapters. So even in ITCHS also there are chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So it's ITCHS code is chapter is a 2-digit headed by 2-digit chapter. Then there are other subcategories, and in India it is categorized up to 6-digit, and America has even gone till 8-digit categorization, 10-digit, 12-digit. All depends on कि कैसे होगी क्लास. आप देखिए कोई भी कंट्री जो एडवांस स्टेज ऑफ इकोनॉमी में होती है वहाँ इनोवेशन बहुत होती है. वहाँ एक ही प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी में काफ़ी सारी इनोवेशन होगी. सब कैटेगरी करके बनती है. So 6 digit, 4 digit, I think 4 and 6 digit are there, and 8 digit transmission are also there. So this is very important. So if you want to export, say, tea, if you want to export a wooden product, a bamboo product, there is a specific HS code. So see, all this is something which I am summarizing. You can contact us. You can browse DGFT website dgft.gov.in. अगर आप वो एक उसका सेक्शन बोलना शुरू करो, आपको आ रहा तो पता ही लग जाएगा what DGFT does, what is trade promotion and all that. Because these are our email IDs. Kolkata DGFT is the zonal office. You can write any issue you are facing. We get mails. So if it is in our domain, we try to address. We refer it to other agencies. Then Guwahati is a regional office. You can mail it to them. This is my official mail ID 8.7.25 and this is also one of our mail IDs. So, you should be very clear that what should be your course of action for say next 6 months or 1 year if you want to start exports. So first is you get an IC. What an IC is, again, an IC is import export code number. Most of the people they say, आपने IC license लिया? IC is not a license. It is your identification as a importer or export. It is a 10-digit number. Your PAN would be an IC. Your PAN itself would be your IC. You have to apply to DGFT online. You will be issued an IC. There are documents required that is available on the website, and your IC will be issued online. Once you get your IC, you should do all the planning of this exports. This is my technical presentation, but the world is beyond, much beyond this. So I have a lot of practical experience. You can ask anything you want to. There are practical things, practical answers to most of your questions. Anything you want to ask. मैं आपको practically बताता हूँ. देखिए, what is important is first you take an IC from you. Even if you don't use it, take an IC. You have to get it updated every year. You can get it updated. You have to first identify which sector you are interested in. Can I have some suggestion? Anybody who is interested in a particular sector can name that sector. Any product or sector. People come to me, सर हम बाकी सब कुछ कर लेंगे, आप हमको ना प्रोडक्ट बता दो, सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा मिलेगा. There is no such product. People are exporting even something which you can't even think of and making money, profiting. So everything is being exported. So it is your own interest area. What is your interest area? You have to focus on that. Just because someone tells you that you start exporting tea, it is a very rich dividend product. Please don't. You have to take interest. You have to identify your product. Once you identify your product, मैं आपको steps बता रहा हूँ क्या करने के. You want to write it down?
Yes, sir. Sir, I belong to the machinery world. So, I have a manufacturing company which manufactured a power loom, and I have the various order from South Africa, from Ethiopia, from Bangladesh, from Nepal. Till now, I have these 4 countries order. Even I am not aware that how to have export. How can I export my power loom to that countries? So let's have the direct case studies of my. This one.
Please, all those who want to start the export business, please be attentive. Because we do things practically. We interact with so many people, so many stakeholders. So one is, have you taken IC? तो IC ले लो आप सबसे पहले. पहला step तो आप कर ही लो, IC ले लो. He is into power loom manufacturing or sourcing?
Manufacturing.
Okay. So he is already a manufacturer. So he has a company in his name. It can be a partnership, it can be a proprietorship concern, it can be a private limited company. So all the compliances of getting your company registered are there. Okay. And you have a bank current account, bank current account. Okay. So first is identification of the product. You have already identified a particular product, that is power loom. Now that is a general English description. So what next you have to do is please find what is the specific ITC HS code for your particular code. Okay. You have to be very sure there should be no confusion. So identify the ITC HS code for our machine. I think it will be under chapter 85 or 86. Okay. Second is you have to see Kaushik ji has given you an idea. You have to then find what are the top 4 or 5 importing countries of power zone from India. Okay. That can be, you can search, you can see from the names which he had shared with you, the 5 importing countries. Now you need to have a list of buyers. So he was very right in telling you that any random list of buyers you should not believe. It has to be certified or something. So how do you get that list? That is very important. List these export promotion councils. They have a data bank of the buyers of that particular. So yours is a power loom machinery. Your export promotion council would be EEPC, Engineering Export Promotion Council. Okay. So you take membership RCMC or EEPC, and you can approach them. You can ask for a certified list, or you can ask them. It is their work. It was very easy for me to tell you that you log into these websites, अपने आप search करो. But you can definitely ask these councils. You write to them. You ask one question. Please give me list of first 5 top importing countries of this product. If they don't revert, write to DGFT. We'll ask them to share. We can also do, but that is their primary goal. Second is you ask for certified list of buyers. See, on your own you can do your homework from the website which has been mentioned. You can ask certified list of buyers from these councils. Okay, this is one model which I am explaining to you. So once you ask, they will definitely share. How do they get this data? They get this data from our embassies, Indian embassies in different countries. They are in direct, they have a physical interface there. They collect that list and they share it with the council, and that is passed on to you. This is one model. And now, it now is up to you. You have to write to them. You have to mail with your product catalog. You ask them for a VC to discuss about your product, and that is a private business. No agency will help you with that. Even the government, they can have buyer-seller deals. We can help it organize. We can make you come together, but the negotiation is totally yours. Okay. Certain points I want to just advise you should be very particular. See, list you have, name you have, you write an email to them. Marketing and branding of your product is also important. You should have a, some portal which you can create for yourself. You can give a link. You can just write an email to them introducing your firm that you are into this business. Please log in, click on this link for our product catalog, or you can share your product catalog, whatever. See, foreign buyer is very, it depends. European Union very particular. Okay, so depends which country you are chasing. So certain points which need to be taken care of while you are negotiating your business with them. I advise all of you to be very particular in the terms and conditions which you discuss. See, for an initial exporter, if easy for me to tell you that you should have a contract, written contract, but it is a buyer's market. He may not agree to have a total, legal contract with you. But I advise you to have everything. You should have a record of everything that is being. So you write a mail. Once your deal is struck, ask him. You give a invoice. You ask him to revert back with the confirmation. All the modalities, product, specific any specific country specific certification is required of them. Payment terms. Please get that on mail. Why I am saying this? I am also a member of committee named Committee for Quality Complaints and Trade Disputes. 70% cases are of non-payment of money. People they send products from here, and most of the times they don't get their payment. And they come, they make complaints. Foreign buyer also makes complaint that we have paid advance money. And foreign companies they also complain that we have paid money, they have not shipped the goods, the quality is bad, likewise there's so many. But we are helpless when we see that all this was done orally or on WhatsApp. आगे क्या बात हुई है वो हवा में ही है, वो आपको ही पता है, वो how can I help? You can say I have said this, you will say no, this was not the thing. So my advice is that everything should be maximum possible thing should be. You should have a record of whatever you have negotiated. No compromise in court. That is something which is very important. For exports, there should be no compromise. So this is the one model. Second model is that there are various trade fairs which are being conducted by these councils. There are two types of trade fairs. One, the foreign country arranges trade fairs here in India. You can participate. Okay? You can be aware of all these trade fairs. Second is our export promotion councils, our agencies arranging these trade fairs abroad. So just as Mr. Kaushik has told that on the website of FIEO you will have a list of events happening during the entire year. For every export program. Suppose you have chosen handicraft, so your nodal council would be EPCH. Go to their website, see what programs are lined up. If you want to participate in a particular program, take their membership, you ask them that you want to participate. So you go abroad, what help council will give you? Two types of main helps. One, they will help you have a dedicated counter in that trade fair. They will give you a space. Some funding also they can give you. Plus reimbursement of your airfare up to a particular limit cap. So if you choose business class, don't expect government to sponsor your business class ticket because there is a notified rate that you will be reimbursed with this particular. This is market access initiative and market development assistance which he has made you write and we have asked you to search. So these schemes are
there's something that I want to understand. Like for example, if I'm interested in this AP in horticulture, we have to go to approach APIDA, right? So
very important. You wanted to ask that do you need to go to APIDA for export of a particular technical?
Like I have already got the IC code, and then I have to be a membership in APIDA. But at the same time, in case like, do I need to skip this thing of this RCMC, like this RCMC in FIEO and all? Do I need like, or can I skip that process?
No, FIEO is not, don't require. What is the product?
Okay, so I just need in the APIDA.
See, I'm very important question. अगर आपने export कर, Hindi is, do you all understand Hindi? If you have decided, अगर आपने सोचा है that you have to pineapple export करना, let us take an example, which is an agro product. You have a buyer. मान लो कि आपको buyer मिल गया. You just need an IC. You don't need a bidder. Don't need anything.
Okay, I just need IC.
You just need IC. But you need these people, and I'll tell you why. See, RCMC is a document which, you can choose not to be a part of any export promotion council. Why should you be a member of any export promotion council? If you think that you don't be a member, don't be a export directory. There are examples. People are not members of data. But the task will be difficult. How? Why do you need RCMC is for any scheme, any export promotion scheme from DGFT, you need to have a valid RC. See, please understand, nothing bars you from exporting. You can have an IC, you can export, you need not have an RC. Please understand. But if you need any benefit from DGFT, RCMC is a prerequisite document. Why? The whole theory is understandable. We want to keep export promotion policies alive. So you apply for an RCMC, you give some fee to them. They are also part of, they are also stakeholders, they will be like, they will have revenue. So RCMC is a prerequisite document. Okay? The whole concept should be very clear. But why APEDA is important? APEDA is your export promotion councils of C. They are very few export promotion councils, I would not say, but few other export promotion councils are very, they are technical institutions. You would be requiring APEDA's help in certain certifications for pineapple. You would be requiring their help to know what are the country specific requirements of your product. So this you cannot do on your own. So that is why a membership from APEDA is generally advised. Government cannot force you to be member of APEDA or to be member of a particular council. Any other question? So, two models. One is that you seek for the list of certified buyers from the councils, and you would be happy to know that very lately, even the embassies are responding. So, if you know that your product is in demand in, say, England, please write to the Indian embassy there, write an email, they revert back. They revert back with the list of buyers. Okay? This is a reason. Because missions are also told by Government of India that please be proactive. Please be responsive.
So बस आज के लिए इतना ही, कल देखिए फिर खास खबर.
Is it? Or anything you want to ask?
What is the status of Manipur in terms of export business?
In terms of?
Export business. Because we have been hearing about pineapple. Pineapple has a very short run season, and we don't have a very good enough cold storage. Then the black rice, people are talking. So recently, they might be exporting, but yeah, it has a limitation. There is no whole year, there is no plantation of black rice as well. So how do you see it? And few months back, I see that people in Uttar Pradesh have started cultivation of black rice. So how does the export business lies for Manipur? What's the status?
The start, let's see in the states what progress do we have. But we must be very realistic. Even if the best of the roads are provided, see, you are very right. I totally agree with you that the low hanging fruit and your approach should be that you should be looking forward to have your business trade with Myanmar first. If you think that you will be exporting to USA, even the best of the best logistics, the cost incident will be definitely there. So as regards the pineapple is concerned, we had also done some research, though the quality is very good, the juice content is very high, but yes, there is a issue of cold storage. We have also taken it up in the district exporter plan, which will be at headquarters. So these are the issues which have been taken up. Let's be hopeful that there can be good cold storage. But my advice would be that there is plenty of pineapple. Instead of thinking of exporting raw pineapple, there should be focus on the value-added products. Because every country won't be pineapple is something which is relished across the entire world. But our more focus should be on value addition. So we are focused. Manipur government is very keen. So last time the Chief Minister himself told me that he is very much But you have to be realistic. Yes. I'll give you one example. You know, that trust, that energy should be there in people. If you have decided that, if that gentleman has decided that he will export his, what was the product?
Power loom.
Power. Nobody will stop him. I have seen examples. It may take some time. You should be knowing your direction. Whom to approach when. That should be very. See, if the government is coming and especially investing their time, money, all the energies, you should take advantage of that. I've seen when I was posted in Punjab, I'll just give you a small example. There was one businessman, he was a rice farmer, a very rich person. He came to me with his young son. He said that, sir, मेरे को अपने बेटे को एक्सपोर्ट करना है। ऐसा ठीक है, आप क्या प्रोडक्ट करना है? कहता वो नहीं पता, वो मेरा काम नहीं है सोचना, आप बताओ। I have money, you tell me what to do, guide, he will do, I have money, इसके अलावा मेरे को कुछ नहीं पूछना, I know nothing.
That is also a real question.
हाँ, these kind of people they are there, and I saw him working on that. The clarity should be. सोचते रहेंगे आप, you keep thinking, somebody will come, one fine day some fairy will come, वो आपको ऐसी दिवा देगा, दिवा देगी, फिर कोई export order आ जाएगा किसी दिन, that won't happen. You know, I was into teaching before clearing UPSC. I have my students there also started export and all. They are good exporters also. So one of them is exporting furniture. He is after my time. वो मुझे मैसेज करता है रात को भी, ये बताओ WhatsApp. तो sometimes I have to tell यार I'm busy. फिर कोई बात नहीं, आप 4 दिन बाद पढ़ के बताओ. आप एक हफ्ता ले, just see. And whenever I find time, I get whatever information he wants. See, I have a personal connect with him that may be helping him. But whenever I get time, I respond him with proper resource. So his direction, he is decided. कि मुझे छोड़ना नहीं, I want to export. And now I have given him list of exporters from US, England, and Germany. So these are the success stories. The kind of zeal and eagerness should be there. It cannot be a government-driven thing. If you don't want to export, we can't force you. There are people sitting in Mumbai having their sourcing here and exporting. So I don't know whether it is not a good thing for the local people there. They can also change. In the last function, I realized that even I was told that people here are happy in the domestic business. They're happy. Anything else?
So if we write to you on this email, you'll respond to it?
Yes, of course.
That's
Won't you
most
believe her?
important.
Won't you believe her? Lakshmi
I try
Chinyari.
to respond. There can be delays at times, but I remember that a mail has come, and I try to respond it, or I will forward it to concerned agency with a CC to you. So we do respond. DGFT is very proactive as regards these things.
We hope so.
So you can check my mail ID. There are no unread mails. I read and I respond. Instantaneously, they can. You may expect that there can be some delay, but Kolkata is a zonal office. You can write a CC. You can always keep it as CC. Okay. So then there are custom procedures also. There are also technical things. And see, export thing is not a I cannot sum it up in 1 hour or 2 hours, or people cannot sum it up in a day or 2 days. You can start it, and as and by you have issues, they can be solved. But you have to be very particular about your product and other things. to us, whatever issue you are facing, initially you can write to us, we will try to solve. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And one more thing, please don't use the word subsidies. Subsidies cannot be used. Please use the term assistance. The moment you use the word subsidies, the Western countries they have their ear open, वो फटाफट देखेंगे कहाँ subsidy दे रहा है India. Okay. And there is no license. There is no license. There is only authorization. There is people use the word license. There is no licensing. There is only EPC authorization, advance authorization, import, export.